Ibrahim Traoré's bold new path in the gold sector seems to carry both hope and tension, and as one watches the developments, emotions tug at the edges. Behind the numbers and the projections lies the story of a country trying to recapture its own wealth, to assert agency, in a world where raw materials so often slip from local hands into foreign ones. Traoré has made clear he doesn't want Burkina Faso's gold to simply be dug up, shipped off and refined on someone else's soil. In November 2023, his government approved the construction of the country's first gold refinery, designed to process 150 tons annually. From that moment, a new chapter opened, one that promises local value, more control, and a fight against the old export raw, import refined paradigm. That refinery is more than a building. It has an assertion that Burkina Faso can keep more of the profits of its own mineral wealth. Traoré and his cabinet often emphasize that when gold is refined abroad, a significant portion of the value added, the skills, technology, markups, accrues to foreign actors. By bringing refining home, the aim is to shift more gains into national coffers and reduce the leakage of wealth. Already, Traoré has set in motion sweeping changes. Early in 2024, he ordered a halt on export permits from small-scale gold producers, largely in efforts to tackle illicit trade, smuggling, and unreported outputs. The message, gold that leaves Burkina Faso must be properly accounted for. Over time, state-controlled bodies collected more than 8 tons of gold in 2024 alone. By early 2025, in just a few months, more than 11 tons had been secured. But let's pause a moment and reflect on the emotional weight here. Imagine watching your country's most precious resources flow out with little return. Imagine generations witnessing that pattern, raw ore loaded onto trucks, shipped overseas, refined and sold, while your people struggle. That feeling of loss, of watching value slip away, must weigh on any leader bold enough to try to reverse it. Traoré, it seems, feels that weight. He has proceeded in fits and starts, making moves that rattle old guard interests. In mid-2025, a presidential decree transferred 5 gold mining assets from foreign operators into Burkina Faso's national mining company, SOPAMI-B. Among those were operating mines and exploration licenses previously held by subsidiaries of large international firms. This is not symbolism. This is structural change. It is a claim on what historically has been surrendered. But no transformation is without resistance, and this case is no different. Traoré's strategy doesn't just nudge existing systems, it shakes them. France, which has long maintained influence over its former colonies and many global gold buyers, watch closely. In global estimates, France is said to hold around 2,400 tons of gold in reserves, a figure that, when juxtaposed with Burkina Faso's ambition, becomes a kind of mirror. One nation clings to legacy accumulation, another is trying to begin accumulation in its own name. In public discourse, Traoré's move is sometimes framed as a challenge to post-colonial structures, a proving ground for economic sovereignty. Critics warn of the risks. Some say that shifting control too rapidly could spook investors or isolate Burkina Faso from global markets. Others point to capacity. Does the country have the technical, regulatory and institutional machinery to run refineries, enforce mining contracts, and manage revenue transparently? The tension between ambition and capacity is very real. Still, the human side of this is stirring. Local jobs are expected, 100 direct roles in the refinery and over 5,000 indirect ones, meaning families, livelihoods, communities, all tied to this new project. For many Burkinabe, the narrative here is deeply personal. This could be the beginning of turning a geological blessing into sustained development. Then there's the geopolitical theatre. Some observers suggest that by asserting more control over gold, Burkina Faso is signaling its broader posture. Less dependence on traditional Western partners, more willingness to chart independent alliances. In circles where national pride, post-colonial sentiment and resource nationalism swirl, this is not a trivial matter. In fact, conversations in forums and social media show some people watching with hope, others with skepticism. One commenter summarized a concern. He has taken great steps toward economic self-reliance. But, The deals may favor external interests anyway. It's easy to get lost in the numbers. $3.5 billion potential output, 150 tons per year, transfers of mining assets. Those are big, heavy figures. But behind them lie dreams, doubts, ambitions, and fears. Traoré's gold revolution could be remembered as a turning point, or as a bold attempt that failed to live up to its promise. What is certain is that it will be scrutinized, for how it is implemented will matter as much as how it is declared. Every step forward in this project carries weight. Each loaded truck leaving or entering the refinery, each export permit issued or withheld, each contract renegotiated. Those are the moments that will decide if the story becomes one of sovereignty regained or opportunity squandered. And so as Burkina Faso begins refining its own gold, as Traoré's government tightens control over mining assets, and as global eyes turn toward the balance of power in resource extraction,
But let's pause
we
a moment
watch
and
with a
reflect on
mixture
the
of
emotional
cautious
weight here.
optimism, curiosity, and the hope that this bold experiment might just rewrite the rules of ownership in Africa's mineral world.